Hello, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you could join us today in the audience, the virtual audience for the Constance Show. In just a minute, I'll be bringing up our three contestants, learning a bit more about them, and playing some fun trivia games and other ones that our awesome production team, led by Sophia, has developed for us. So, just a few seconds, I'll be popping up in person. But in the meantime, I wanted to let you know what you can do now is, if you have people, family, and friends who you'd like to see this broadcast, you can share it now. You can use those share icons, little arrows there in YouTube or Facebook. And also, if you're on Facebook, you can type the name, use that @ character, and start typing the name of a family or member or a friend, and their name should pop up if you're already following each other on Facebook. So that gives a great way to share with folks. And remember, too, if they will watch this broadcast after we were finished, they'll get to watch the whole thing from the beginning. So don't worry about, oh, that person is busy now. Well, that they can watch it, in an hour or, in a week. So that's it. So with no further ado, let's get the show started. Hello, my name is Steve, and I will be your host today. Welcome to the Constance Show. We've got a lot of fun things planned for today. We're playing trivia and guess the quote with our contestants, Tom and Pat, and also our own Constance family coordinator, Bree. Now, throughout the show, feel free to answer any of the questions in the comments on Facebook or on YouTube. And also keep an eye out for our audience-only question. That'll come up after our first game. If you answer the audience-only question correctly, we may share your answer and your name on screen. So with no further ado, let's get started with our first game, which is trivia. And we're going to have a multiple choice trivia question will appear on our screen. I will call one contestant at a time to answer the question. If player one, in this case will be Tom, if he answers the question correctly, then we'll go on to our second contestant, and so on. If he doesn't answer it correctly, we go on to the second contestant too, but the second contestant then can steal the points. So it keeps a little competitive edge in there. And so let's get started with our first contestant, Tom, and our first question. So our first trivia question is, who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner? Was it 1, William Cullen Bryant? Was it 2, Francis Scott Key? Was it 3, Thomas Buchanan Reed? Or was it 4, Francis Miles Finch? So who was the author of the song, The Star-Spangled Banner? Again, was the lyricist for that, was it William Cullen Bryant? Was it Francis Scott Key? Or was it Thomas Buchanan Reed? Or number 4, Francis Miles Finch? What do you think, Tom? Any of those answers you need to be read?
No, it's number 2, Francis Scott Key.
That is correct. So you get your point for this, and we will move on with a different question to contestant number 2, Pat. All right, we're going to have that, and now I will catch. Let me ask a little bit about Pat, and I'll catch Tom and ask a few questions when we bring him back on screen here. So tell me, how are you doing today?
Fine, no problem.
Anyone in the audience you want to say hi to?
Yeah. I don't know who's in the audience. Maybe Eileen, if she's in the audience. Hi.
I hope so. I sent her the link. And so that's great. That is great. So we have a different question for you, which you'll hop up here. From which movie does the song Edelweiss come? Is Edelweiss from 1, Fiddler on the Roof? Is it from 2, Mary Poppins? Is it from 3, The King and I? Or is it from 4, The Sound of Music?
4, Sound of Music.
Let's find out if you're correct. Indeed you are. Indeed you are. I actually had some inside information on that one, but we shall move on to contestant number 3 with a different question here. And everyone's getting the question so far, but they might get a little harder as we go on here. So we'll see. So for number 3, let me ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself, Bree. What brings you here today?
Hi, well, I am a Constance family coordinator. So I've been with Constance for a little bit over a year, and I'm one of 3 coordinators. So we are the ones that make calls to potentially your loved ones who are usually typically older adults to kind of gauge their moods and how they're doing that day, and just
Nice.
just get a nice little vignette into their life for the
Awesome.
day.
Well,
So
we'll definitely ask you some more questions about what being a CFC or Constance family coordinator is like, and what you bring to the job and what you get to the job later on. But for now, let's give you a chance to answer our next question. Okay, which of these 4 blood types is known as the universal donor? Is 1 O negative, 2 A positive, 3 B negative, 4 AB positive? And I'll repeat those ones. Which one is known as the universal donor? O negative, A positive, B negative, or AB positive? What is your answer?
I think I'm gonna have to go with O today.
Yeah, got a little bit of a trickier question here, but you absolutely got it correct.
Woo!
That is good work there. Good work. And let's go back now to contestant number 1, and we can find out a little bit more about Tom. Hello, Tom. Welcome back. Welcome back. And so how have you been since we last saw you? So tell me more. Like, how's today going for you? And what are you? What has been?
Good.
What has been some of the? I think let me like a little out of sync of the audio. Well, let me just go into the question here. And so, question number 4: what is the national tree of the United States? Is it 1, the sweet gum, 2, the Douglas fir, 3, the red maple, or 4, the oak tree? Again, national tree of the United States: sweet gum, Douglas fir, red maple, or the oak tree?
Well, I'm not sure about this, but I'll go with number 2, the Douglas fir.
As I said, the questions definitely get a lot tougher. So the oak tree is actually the national tree of the United States. So definitely the questions have been getting a little bit harder as we move on. So we've got another challenging one coming up next for our next contestant, Pat. And now I'm sure you know that the U.S. national bird is the bald eagle. But what bird did Benjamin Franklin want the national bird to be? So was it 1, the barn owl, 2, a turkey? Was it 3, the robin, or 4, the cardinal? Again, Ben Franklin, national treasure, Philadelphia treasure, Pennsylvania treasure, had a different idea about what he wanted the national bird to be. So again, was it 1, the barn owl, 2, the turkey, 3, the robin, or 4, the cardinal?
Well, seeing as the turkey was very popular in the country for food, I would say the turkey.
There you go. It was turkey. And that Ben had a lot to say, not about how tasty the turkey was, but how it was a bold, individualistic sort of bird that, wouldn't would certainly was one that represented that independent spirit of the United States. So this is our final question of this round, of round 1. So we're going to ask you where the 1964 Summer Olympics were held. In what city? Was it in Rome, Italy? Was it in Innsbruck, Austria? Was it in Japan, in Tokyo? Or was it in Mexico City? So 1964 Summer Olympics. Was it Rome, Innsbruck, Tokyo, or Mexico City?
See, I'm bad at geography and history kind of stuff. So I'm going to take the best guess. I'm going to go for number 2.
That's a good guess. It's not the correct guess, but it was still a good guess. So thank you for that. And that we're going to take a look at our current scores now after round 1. But again, 2 more rounds to come. So, definitely plenty of chance for things to change here along the way. And we're going to bring that up in just a second. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Constance Show. Please share with your family and friends and let them know that this broadcast is happening now. And that same link that you used to get to this broadcast is the same place that the recording will be. So you can also always go back and watch the recording later. So we're going to look at our scores here. And let's see here. But the overall scores so far are we have Pat in the lead with 2, Tom with 1, and also Bree with 1. So very close game. We'll have a chance for those scores to change, and of course we're going to make some of the questions worth even more as we go on, just to keep that excitement going all through the broadcast here. So excellent. So now what we're going to do is take a look at the audience trivia question. This is not for our guest. Our guests can just sit back. Don't worry about this. Don't give it away to our audience. This is just for the audience. And what food was invented in Philadelphia in 1930? What food invented in Philadelphia in 1930, and what iconic Philadelphia food invented in the year 1930? So you can put your answer in the comments, either if you're in Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this broadcast. And then later on, we'll share the correct answer, and we'll also share the names of the people who got the correct answer. So let's then move on to going on to our next game, which is It Has Happened Here. Now, this is a very different sort of game, and it's a lot of fun. We picked up some very fun news headlines. And only one of these headlines happened in the state of Pennsylvania. And we're going to have all of our guests on the screen, and what they're going to do, and they decide which one is the correct one. They'll hold up 1, 2, or 3 fingers to make it with their answers. But no, don't do it too early. Don't do it while I'm reading it. I'll ask you all so you can do it at the same time. And then, so no one's cheating off anyone else. and we'll get, if you guess this, you get a bonus point for that as well. So let's put up the 3 headlines. I'll read through them twice so you can get a chance to think about them. The headline number 1, the county firefighters rescue ducklings from storm drain. So again, headline number 1, so cute. County firefighters rescue drunk ducklings from storm drain. So that's the first one. And the second one is with penguins missing visitors, lonely penguins, amidst zoo closure, museum takes them on an adorable cultural field trip. So in some place, one of these quotes happened, these headlines, things happened in Pennsylvania. One of them didn't. So was this the one where they took the penguins on a field trip because they were lonely? So we'll think about that. And then we have one more headline we're going to share, which is a pet ferret helped donate thousands of books to kids by finishing a full marathon in 3 weeks. Now, doing a full marathon or even a half marathon, or a 10K is impressive for a human being, but for a ferret to run 26 miles and 385 yards over 3 weeks is pretty impressive. So again, I'll give the shortened version of each one to go over all 3. So and remember, don't hold up when I'm reading it. Wait till I ask you at the end. So because obviously your fellow contestants can see what you'll be holding up. So headline 1, the ducklings that fell down the storm drain and were rescued by firefighters. Headline number 2, with the lonely penguins that were taken on a field trip. Headline number 3, the ferret marathoner who also is raising money for charity. So those are the ones there. In just a second, we're just going to give a chance for Tom's video to come back. One thing in live broadcasting, you see there's always got the internet speed and other things can have an issue there too. So we're just going to give him a couple more seconds, and if he comes back, then great. If not, we'll move on. And all right, so we still have more chance for points after this. So if we can get him back, that'll be great. And then so Pat and Bree, on the count of 3, hold up either 3, 2, or 1 finger. So hold up what your answer is now. And there you both answered the same one, and that is correct. You definitely both got that correct. That is good job. This is a fun one. It's one of those ones where you just had to use your instincts. And
I must say, the word county, I think, gave it away.
Now Tom is back now, and if we want to put all 3 up again for Tom, if he wants to take a guess there. So Tom, was it which headline happened in Pennsylvania? Was it the cute ducklings rescued from the storm drain, number 1? Was it number 2, the lonely penguins that went on a field trip? Or was it number 3 with the pet ferret that ran a marathon? So Tom, if you can hear me, if you can hold up, there we go. If you hold up 1, 2, or 3.
I don't have a clue, but let's say number 2.
Okay, it was actually number 1. That was a tough one. It was just sort of it was going to be a guess, obviously, unless you happen to already know that story. So that's a fun one. I may have to Google that one later on and find all those stories, and because there've got to be some really cute animal pictures in those ones as well too. So the next one we're going to go to is we're going to also tell people about the audience trivia again. If you're just joining now, or if you haven't had a chance to answer, what food was invented in Philadelphia in 1930? What iconic Philadelphia food was? And again, this is not for our guests. They can at the end we can maybe chat about that too. But this is for all the people in the audience. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, and if you're already there on YouTube and Facebook, typing in the comments, you can then do. Also, that'll be a great time to share or to type somebody's name that you're one of your friends or followers in Facebook, so they can watch this, either catch the end of it live or watch it later on in the recording. So excellent. And right now we want to talk with Bree a bit more about what she does for Constance and what brought you there, and a little bit more about that.
Sure. So, like I said, my name is Bree. I've been with Constance for a little bit over a year now. I initially worked as a social service assistant at a local SNF, or a skilled nursing facility in Lancaster. And I just saw the job posted one day and I was like, this is perfect. So I was like, I have to apply. It blends my favorite thing, working typically with older adults. A population that I have experience with, and then just talking to people, like, I can do that. I'm a chatterbox.
You seem to be very good at that.
Yeah. So it was a nice blend. I got to meet Henry and Morgan. It was awesome. And everything sort of just fell in place. And here we are today. So a little bit more about what I do, though, for the company is, like I said, I'm a Constance family care coordinator. We help coordinate some services for our clients who maybe they want food delivery, or they want to go somewhere and they don't drive anymore. Well, we can help set up transportation for them, like through Uber or GoGo Grandparent, just different avenues like that. Or if they need their medications prepackaged and delivered to their home, that's something else that we can do. So it's some of that stuff, but then it's also another like social piece. We're calling them every day. We build a good relationship with our clients. We try to spark them daily with like little fun facts that you see like on the bottom of the screen and stuff. And just, we're just another ear for them, another support system. And we also do some light monitoring. So we do a quick little update to family members after each call and just kind of give them like a little window into how their day's going. So
that's pretty cool. And did you mention there's a service called GoGo Grandparent?
Yep.
That's a catchy name.
It is, and it's more tailored to the older population. You may not, it has a little bit more tracking features for family members if they are getting it for their grandparents, and that they can kind of keep up to date with where they are and how things are going. So
that's pretty. So you're someone who is checking in, but you're also a connector with other services then as well.
Yep, that's right.
That is pretty neat. So what are your favorite things about being one of the Constance family coordinators?
Every day is just like a new challenge or, experience with my clients. It's just, it's great to hear from them every day, work with them through things that, maybe they need help with. And it's just nice to be able to be a support system for them. And it's like having another set of grandparents, except now I have like 10 or so more sets of grandparents. So it's just a great feeling. So
that is pretty cool. All right. That is really exciting. Now to move on to the Guess the Quote round. And this one is going to go over a few details here because there are a bunch of things we have to here. We're going to give a quote, and the players will have a chance to discuss among themselves. I mean, you're competing, but you can sort of talk about it a little bit, and we'll go by each one, ask you one by one of who you think this quote was, and then you can also I can ask you why you arrived at that decision. What you thought about that? And that's this one. So a little more interactive in that way. So we're going to start off with the first quote, and that is worth 1 point. And again, want to know, let me know who the person is who said this quote. So I'm going to ask you one at a time for your answers, and then, but you can, we'll do it in a different order. So each person has a chance to give the answer first and be the first one to get it right, or the other two will have a chance to copy off them if they want to. So we're going to start off with Tom, and the quote for you, Tom, is for all of you, but you get to be the first to answer, is ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Can you tell me who said that quote?
I'm thinking Patrick Henry.
Okay, that's we're going to also go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking.
You can change your answer still, because I haven't gone on with anyone else. So again, the quote was, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." So, what do you have your final answer?
My final answer would be JFK.
There we go. Okay, and now we're going to go to Pat, and you want to give your answer?
Oh, I agree. JFK, there's no question about that.
And Bree, are you going to go with the group?
I am going to go with the flow because this is eluding me.
Definitely, and everyone is correct. That is definitely the answer. President John F. Kennedy was the person who said that. And we're going to do the same thing with the next one, but the next time I'll give Pat the first opportunity. So everyone will have a chance to be the first person and the last person. So you get the advantages of both of those there. So we have this next one is you wanted to let me know the source of these lyrics. This is actually from a song, but it came from a show. So if you can tell me the name of the show, you'll get your 2 points there. But if you tell me the name of the actual name of the song, which is much less known. So that here is, don't worry, I won't sing it. Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed, poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. What TV show?
Not a clue.
Okay, we're going to move on to Bree.
I am in the same boat. I have no idea.
Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed, poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. So, Tom, you have a chance to grab all the points here. Do you know the answer?
Yeah, it was on my tip of my tongue. It's Beverly Hillbillies.
That is correct. You get points for that. And because you're the only one who answered it correctly, you now have the option to go to the actually it's on the screen now, but that's okay. Well, we'll give you a bonus stat since you're the only one who got it right. We're going to give you the bonus for getting the name of it right too, because since you got that there. So the actual title of the song is The Ballad of Jed Clampett. So that is the name of the actual name of the song, which I think that's really definitely a more obscure one, but good job there. That was a strong one now. So now we're going to go to starting with Bree, and then we'll go to Tom and then Pat. The source of this one, there is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. I'm
just going to take a wild jab at it. Elon Musk.
Okay. And that's the first guy. Well, I can also give you a clue too. We want to tell everyone else that it's from a TV show. So the name of the TV show is what we want.
Star Trek.
Okay. That's one guess there. And we're going to move on next to Tom. And so, Tom, the quote is, there is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man.
The Twilight Zone.
Okay, that's your answer there. And what about Pat? Would you agree with either of the previous ones? Was it Star Trek? Was it Twilight Zone? There's a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man, or is it from a different TV show?
I think I would have to agree with Tom and say the Twilight Zone.
And let's find out. That is the correct answer. And good work. So
thanks, Tom. What you said, I knew that's what it was.
I think Star Trek was a pretty good answer too, because I think that definitely fits the show. So it was awesome answer. Can't give you points for that. But it's great to have all of you back. So I want to give you a chance to answer the question we gave the audience now, and then we'll bring up the answer, the correct answer for that. So, in what food was invented in Philadelphia in 1930? What iconic Philadelphia food? We got a lot of good answers that were totally, good Philly foods, but only one is what we're looking for. So let's go with Tom. Any guess there, Tom?
No, I assume it's the Philly cheesesteak.
And how about Pat? What do you think?
Tasty cakes.
Okay. Bree, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with the Philly cheesesteak.
Okay, well, let's find out. There we go. We have a correct answer on the screen. It is the Philly cheesesteak, and that is the correct food. Though there's definitely in Philadelphia, living in Philadelphia, I can see there's definitely different people claim to have invented it at that time, but that's the one that happened there, and it's an iconic food that we're showing a couple of the answers that we have. Henry Yeager, co-founder and CEO of Constance, got that one right. And we also had, who else had that one correct? Molly Lewin also had that correct. Were there any other correct answers, or were those the two that got it? We had some other good answers, like Scrapple. I know my dad loves Scrapple. My dad's Pat Taylor there. You can tell I didn't give him any of the answers ahead of time, though. Tasty Cakes. The Tasty Cake Factory in Pennsylvania is actually in the Navy Yard. And so I ride down there a lot, and it's sometimes you can tell, like, oh, they're making cinnamon rolls today. I really like it. That's a lot of fun. So we're going to take a look at our final scores here, and it was close. It was really close, although with that great answer on the Beverly Hillbillies answer is what made the difference here. That 3 points here put Tom into the lead with 8 points. Then we have Pat with 7 and Bree with 6. So a very, very close round. And you all showed different strengths in different areas. So it was really exciting to see all of you and all the great work you did there. And that was, thank you so much for being our guest today. And right now we're going to just we want to give a special thanks to our guests for joining us today and really being great contestants and helping us make this a fun and interesting and informative event too, because I bet most people out there learned a couple things that they might not have known there. So that's definitely what makes it great. But now one thing to really important now is if you're watching from home, we'd really love to have your feedback on how the show went, how we can make it better, how you enjoyed it. And you can certainly put that in the comments. But if you look at the original post there's a link to a Google form. It's a really, really simple form. It will literally take you 30 seconds or, maybe 60 seconds if you really want to make longer answers, just to ask just a couple basic questions. So please go to that link in YouTube or in Facebook in the original post, and then you can click on that link and go to that survey and fill that out. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to also continue to share this. This video will exist here both on YouTube and on Facebook. So you can share it now, and people who are joining later can then watch from the very beginning. So thank you, everyone. And we will see you again next week, every week at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays. Have a wonderful day.